Yo, what's going on, everybody? Jonathan here. Just wanted to talk about my experience with DM setters and some outreach that I've done. So, I run a marketing agency, if you don't already know, but we gave it a shot and we went full force into this investment of marketing. What I mean by that is lead generation, right? Lead generation is probably one of the biggest things for any business is how are you getting your leads, right? How are you getting people who are interested in your business? How are you getting that out there to help you grow your business? So you don't necessarily have a business until you have people to buy your services and products. So I got this question from someone today, and I wanted to make this video. Overall, lead generation is has in the past always been a tricky thing, but lately I've been doing a lot of things differently, which is amazing. And it's only through investing in myself. It's only through experiencing and exploring new options and making myself more aware of opportunities that doors began to open. So in this particular video, I'm going to go over how these doors opened. What does that mean? And really help you understand a little bit about the lead generation that I did. So when I say DM outreach, some people know what that is, some people don't. In January this year, 2025, I invested and I grew my team from a team of 3 to a team of 9 in a matter of a week. So I made a huge, significant investment, more than doubled my team size, and it was a great learning lesson. I mean, not only did I have to learn how to hire, learn how to manage expectations, learn how to manage people, learn how to manage outcomes, track all this sort of performance, be able to make hard decisions on, people who were underperforming, and just overall evaluate investment opportunity. Because just the fact of doing it was a huge opportunity to learn. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to write it down and show you how I did it all and how that looks. But overall, at the high level, what DM outreach is this? I have a bunch of VAs across the world. It could be in the US, it could be outside the US, it could be anybody going out there and drumming up business. They went to groups, they found people who were interested and who were prospected to potentially do business with us. They'd reach out to them via direct messaging on social media and try to set appointments for myself and my team. The idea is we have scripts that they followed, like 1, 2, 3 scripts that they would consistently go forward. They would continue to follow up with people who are interested. And overall, like we even had people cold calling, we had people emailing, and pretty much any kind of like cold outreach that like we did cold email, we did cold direct messaging on social media. I didn't necessarily have a good cold email campaign. It was more of like, my people would go out there and email the people who they found on social media as well. But we had a system to basically generate these prospects and reach out to them. So I guess I don't necessarily need to show you on paper, but like, I mean, we can just do a story, show and tell. And if you were interested in me actually drawing it out, I can, I have a whiteboard and I have paper, of course. I can draw it out for you. But overall, I invested over $1,600. I had each VA. I mean, I had like over 300 applications, right? And just like, imagine like, as a owner of any business, if you're getting 300 applications for a role, what do you do? Right. And I had a great system. I mean, shout out to my mentor, John. He helped me understand how to set up the system. And if you're interested in that system, it's like, I call it like a hiring system, basically taking these 300 applications and just filtering them down. I can just explain at a high level what that system was, but because it is interesting, like I find that super interesting. But basically, I post on a job application board right? So, if you're hiring people in South Africa, you're hiring people in South America, you're hiring people in the US, Indeed, for example, post on an application board. In the application board, I give instructions, specific instructions on if you want to apply for this position, how to apply. It's extremely important. I highlighted it, bolded it, everything. And I tell them you have to go to this page, which is my page that I created on my website, fill out an application there. Okay. So step number one, not everyone filled out an application there. So it's a deterrent, basically. It's like a tripwire. It's like, hey, do they read instructions when it's clearly laid out there multiple times that in order to apply for this role and be considered, go over here. Okay. That definitely was a thing. So like, let's say half of them went through. Okay. Now you went through and you had questions. Each question asks multiple different things. Where are you from? How fluent are you in English? How fluent are you in other languages? Then I also had them submit a video interview. Okay. In the video interview, if they did not submit it, or if they sent me just a random other link or some other older video or some like portfolio link, I did not even consider them. So there's tripwire number 2. Would you be able to fill out the form the way that the instruction is asking you to do so? Then, if I liked their video, the ones who did submit it, if I thought they had good English, if I thought they could potentially do the job role, well, I read the rest of the questions. If I liked it, they had experience, then I would invite them to an interview. On the interview, I then, explain the role, explain the job, see if they're interested, see what's going on. After that, my final tripwire is this. Basically, I would go in there and say, okay, great. This is what I'm going to do. Next step is this. I'm going to send you over onboarding training that I've done with some setters before. You're going to review it. It's 2 hours of video. It's going to give you an exact idea of what is expected of you and how to actually perform this role. So go ahead and watch that. And then I'm going to, in the email I send them after the interview, I ask them reply yes, so that I know that you are, you accept the role. And believe it or not, some people didn't even accept it. Even though they interviewed well and they said, yeah, I want to do the job. They either didn't watch the video. It was just too much work. They didn't like the job. They didn't know what to do with it. They just, didn't reply. I was like, okay, well, there's tripwire number 3. Number 4. I don't know. There's so many tripwires at this point. But I went from applications from 300 down to 5 different, maybe 6 different interviews. Actually, people who I interviewed. So man, that's a significant savings of time as a business owner. So anyways, that's my hiring process, right? I can show you everything if you want. Just comment down below. Let me know. Anyways, I hired 4 different setters. What my compensation package was this. Basically, I paid them basically $100 salary, right? Which is $5 an hour for 20 hours a week. And then I would give them bonuses. If they set 3 appointments, I would give them $50 bonus. If they set every 3 appointments, they get a $50 bonus. If they set an appointment that closes business for me, they get a $100 bonus. So right away, I've capped their salary. I got this. They're paid. They're not unpaid interns. They're not unpaid salespeople. They're paid just straight up, just by doing the work. I also had them submit an end-of-day report every day, which, that's a whole nother system, which is great. It was actually amazing to save my time managing them. Also, I had them submit a tracking sheet, which I also have. Super cool. We literally reached out to over 5,000 people. And we had over 250 people who actually responded to the messages that we sent. And then I think we had about 18 or 20 booked calls. Not everyone showed up. Maybe around 15 to 12 showed up. Of those, maybe around 6 got to the sales. The sales calls, believe it or not, I guess I haven't closed any. So, I mean, that's the moral of the story here, but overall, like, think about it. I did it for about a month. So I did it January to February. It was about $400 a setter in salary alone. All right. So 400 a setter in salary. So 400 times 4 setters, that's $1,600. So I invested $1,600 to basically close zero business. However, I believe the concept, and Myron Golden puts it, and even Omar El-Takori puts it as well. One of Myron's students is, every work works. All work works. It either works for you or works on you. So even though I spent $1,600 and closed zero business from this, I've learned so much. I've learned how to hire. I learned this whole systems. I've learned every bit of it. Learned how to manage these people. Learn how to set expectations. Learn how to build trust and rapport with my own employees, and learn how to motivate and really push the employee. I mean, man, these setters were hammering it. Like, they were cold calling like none other. We had like some days they were going after like over 500, people, every single week, like 500 to 1,000 people they would reach out to every single week. And just think about it. If that was me in my time, that's crazy. That's crazy, because like I would not have the time. I actually literally tried it. It's like, oh, I only could do like 12, 20 a day. Like, what would that be a week? Like 140? But these people are doing it pretty much full time. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure they didn't necessarily do it all full time, but like, the numbers showed. And so like I went through, and I think 3 weeks in, I cut 2 setters, and then I left the top 2 setters, and then gave it one more shot. And then I cut the last setters, unfortunately. And I cut the whole setting team. Anyways, moral to the story. I spent over $1,600 to invest heavily into cold outreach on social media. We did cold outreach on social media, cold outreach on email, and cold outreach cold calling. And didn't work out. However, I learned so much from that experience. And yeah, I have to earn the money back, and I got to get the money back, and sort of like, sucky that didn't necessarily pan out. However, it really just like, I failed quickly. It's like the idea that entrepreneurship, it's like you want to fail quickly, fail forward, fail quickly, right? Because the faster you fail, the faster you can find the solution. So it's like in sales, you want to go for no's. The quicker you can get the no's, the quicker your yes will come. So the quicker you can fail in investment in your business, the quicker you would actually find out what works for you. And so, I mean, it really led me down this path of just like trying to introspect on my business, try to understand like, okay, what is actually happening? And believe it or not, like, it led me to something amazing. And really, that is like this YouTube channel, right? Like, content, the podcast. I mean, God is so good. He gave me a podcast studio, gave me all this sort of thing. And, I think I've had a video on that, but like, I was not expecting any of this sort of direction in my way, but I just continue to follow and the steps he leads me to. And, now I'm doing content. Now I'm teaching people how to do content. Now we're actually making an impact. We're teaching people how to make more of an impact to more people. And then we're getting people who are actually aware of us and aware of myself and the services we offer. And we're building trust, and we're building rapport. We're building all these things. And it really just goes to show, like, cold outreach, yes, it can be effective. Like, for example, if you consider appointments, yeah, I got appointments. If you consider my sales being bad, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could probably do better at sales, but I wouldn't necessarily consider myself the worst salesperson, right? I've actually closed many deals before. I wouldn't consider myself, the appointments, bad appointments. They were qualified. They had the money. They just didn't want to spend it, like, whatever it is. Like, yeah. And that's an objection that sales can sort of go over. However, it's just not the kind of sales that I want to do. Right. And so it's sort of figuring out the style of things that I like to do as well. as like my business and my business as a business owner, a style of business I want to do. And so like for me, it makes more sense. Like what Myron Golden says is like, make yourself so attractable and so findable that people are going to find you. And when they find you, make yourself such an easy opportunity for them to take advantage of, or not necessarily take advantage of, but them to take an opportunity with you so that you can help get them a result, that it's going to be such a great way for you to, generate leads. And so if you generate leads, so basically turning it into what he calls a lead machine, right? It's a lead machine. Put them into the money motion sensor machine. I love the way he puts it. It's like a small amount of money that they can put basically to turn the lead into a customer. Whatever you can do, whether that's a book, whether that's a book or some sort of like thing, like a small little event or a small little, ticket item, whatever you can do to turn them into a customer so that they're paying you, that right there is like the first hurdle. Like imagine like that. That's like the entrepreneur, right? It's the idea is like, as an entrepreneur, it's the hardest dollar to make is your first dollar, right? It's because you have to learn how to create value. You've never created value before. You have to create value enough to at least earn a dollar. And so you definitely have to create more value and more value. But at the end of the day, that's my story. So I tried the outreach, I tried the cold outreach, and this is just my story. I mean, of course it works for others. It can work for others. I mean, I've been in the industry for a while. I've managed people and had interns, had people under me as well. But yeah, I don't think cold outreach like that is for me. Yes, it can work. And yes, it might just be niche specific, right? It definitely could be niche specific and industry specific. So I wouldn't necessarily count it out as like a bad thing. But the moral of the story, the principle here is just like, find something that works, find something that you like to do, find something that, you can scale up and just do that. Because here's the thing, everything works. Literally everything in business works. Because it wouldn't be a thing in business if it didn't work. Like ads work. YouTube videos work. Social media content works. Networking works. Referrals work. Like every way, basically what these are just ways to generate leads. And then you just have to learn how to convert those leads into paying customers, right? And so, yeah, all this to say, like, that's my story of cold outreach on DMs. And, if you want me to go deeper into it, and that's even my hiring process. Like, if you want me to go deeper into like every little step, I will show you. I'll do a whole screen share. Just let me know. But right now, I mean, I was just chilling. Like, it just came over to me, and I was like, let me just do a quick talking head video. I guess this is what that is. Just like, you see my head moving. I'm talking. Anyways, yeah. So I figured I'd do this quick video to share my experience with cold outreach as a marketing agency owner. And I hope that's helpful. If you found value in this, please make sure you hit that like button. It will help the algorithm. That's what I've heard. Anyways, yeah, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We host a podcast every Monday called the God's Business Podcast, where we talk about God and business and bring all kinds of things into the mix. So it's really a fun sort of way to really just grow your mind, expand your abundance mindset and the prosperity that God has intended for his people here. And so if that's of any interest to you, please, subscribe. We release a new podcast episode every Monday. Outside of that, we'll be hosting an event called the Content to Profit workshop, where I'm going to go over literally, I went from DMs, now I'm doing content, and I paid over $25,000 to basically be in the room with the top content creators in the world. So, been learning a lot, and I have a lot to share, and we're just going to give the game away. So if you're interested in that, comment down below again, DM me on social media, DM me on Instagram. I'll send you an invite, just send me your email. I'll send you an invite. But yeah, I hope that helps. And, I'm not there yet. I'm not where I necessarily, I guess we all are never really there, right? If you're making $10,000 a month. Like I've made $10,000 a month. It's not like really that big of a deal. You're making $15,000 a month. Yeah, you'll want to get more. 30,000. I'm sure you probably want more. Yeah, so it's always a never ending, seek for more. And so, while I am on this journey, I guess is a better way to put it, I hope something I've said here can help you so that you don't have to relearn the wheel. So don't rebuild the wheel. Learn from others who have done it before. And if this is any value to you, please let me know. Now I'm rambling. Jonathan here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.